Welcome, dear viewers, to a tale that lurks beneath the bustling streets of Los Angeles, a city of dreams and shadows. Tonight, we unravel a mystery that has confounded residents and authorities alike. A series of cryptic messages, visible only from the heavens, spelling out a chilling plea: help. Join us as we delve into the enigma of the help messages of Los Angeles. In late 2023, internet users scouring Google Earth stumbled upon a chilling sight: a vacant lot in Los Angeles bearing the unmistakable word, help. The discovery quickly went viral, sparking theories ranging from desperate cries for assistance to elaborate art installations. As the first users shared screenshots, others began dissecting the image. Could it be a cry for help from someone in distress? Or was this part of an elaborate hoax? Some speculated it was a coded message, pointing to some hidden conspiracy. Meanwhile, others considered the possibility of a new marketing campaign, though the eerie nature of the plea didn't seem like something one could sell. Within hours, the images were circulating, with each theory more bizarre than the last. Some called it art, a commentary on urban neglect, while others feared it was a desperate plea from a stranger no one could hear. It wasn't until a tech-savvy user zoomed in on the surrounding buildings and cross-referenced the location with local records that things began to look darker. The lot, located just off a busy street, seemed innocent at first glance, but a deeper investigation revealed something unsettling. The streets surrounding it were often deserted, the area filled with broken windows and abandoned buildings. A desolate part of Los Angeles, once thriving, now left to decay. The message, a stark word written in debris, lingered in the minds of everyone who saw it. Who could have done this? And why? The word help stared back, offering no answers but leaving behind a growing sense of unease. As the news spread, local authorities were alerted. The Los Angeles Police Department initiated an investigation, sending officers to the site. They arrived, scanning the area for clues, but found nothing: no signs of an ongoing crime, no obvious disturbance. Despite the digital footage and images circulating online, the authorities were baffled. The lot, while desolate, appeared untouched. No vehicles had been in the area recently, and there were no visible footprints leading to the message. Nothing seemed to explain how the letters had appeared so meticulously. Still, the investigation continued. As the officers canvassed the surrounding buildings, they found odd signs: a faint chalk drawing on the sidewalk near the lot, cryptic symbols drawn hastily, barely legible. The markings led investigators in circles, as each clue seemed more puzzling than the last. While the search for answers intensified, residents who lived nearby began sharing their own experiences. Some had noticed strange figures lingering near the vacant lot late at night. Others had heard noises, scratching, whispers, that came from the area when it should have been silent. "The lot has always been off," said a local resident, looking down the street, avoiding eye contact. "Something about it has always felt wrong. Like it was never meant to be here." Despite the officers' findings, they could not make sense of it all. Was it a prank? An elaborate stunt? Or something more sinister? To understand the present, we must look into the past. The lot, now abandoned, was once the site of a small community park that had been a symbol of neighborhood unity. But in the early 90s, the city had demolished the park to make way for what was meant to be a new development. However, the project never came to fruition, and the area quickly fell into disrepair. What remained was a void, a once thriving corner of the city now left to rot. In the years that followed, the lot became a hub for the homeless and those seeking shelter in the shadows of the city. As the area continued to deteriorate, it attracted the attention of local gangs, who used the lot for their clandestine meetings. The story of the lot mirrored that of many forgotten spaces in Los Angeles, places neglected by the city, abandoned by those in power, leaving people to carve out their own existence in the shadows. But could there be more to the lot's troubled history than met the eye? Some local residents recalled seeing strange individuals near the lot at night, wearing dark clothing and acting strangely. These figures had never been identified, and no one could remember their names. Were they connected to the mysterious message? Or was it all just coincidence? As detectives worked to piece together the history of the lot, they uncovered a disturbing truth. This was not the first time the lot had been used to send a message. A few years ago, a similar plea, though less noticeable, had been found scrawled across a nearby wall. The word SOS was hastily written in red paint, but no one had paid much attention at the time. Was this a continuation of the cry for help that had begun years earlier? Weeks passed before the truth emerged. A man, homeless and living on the fringes of society, was revealed to be behind the messages. Authorities discovered that the man had been frequenting the lot for months, scrawling cryptic messages in various forms, desperately trying to make the city notice his plight. It wasn't until an anonymous tip led authorities to the man that the mystery began to unravel. He was found living in a small encampment just beyond the lot, his belongings scattered across the ground, covered in layers of dirt and grime. When questioned, the man was hesitant to speak at first, but after some persuasion, he agreed to share his story. "Why did you create these messages?" an investigator asked. The man's eyes were hollow, his voice shaky as he explained. "People don't see us, the ones who've fallen through the cracks. I wanted to make them look, make them see the help we need." His words echoed through the room, resonating with an unsettling truth. He wasn't just crying out for himself. He was speaking for all those who had been left behind by society. The ones living in the shadows, unnoticed, their struggles ignored. "Were you hoping someone specific would notice?" the investigator asked. "Anyone who cares," the man replied. "Anyone who can make a difference." It was a response that haunted the investigators long after they left the lot. What was truly being conveyed here? Was it a message of hope, or a grim reminder of the city's inability to care for its own? The discovery of the help message sent shockwaves through the city, but it also sparked a broader conversation about the issues facing Los Angeles. The homeless population, once largely ignored, had suddenly found its voice in the form of a single plea. The message was not just an isolated incident, it was a symbol of a much larger crisis. The plight of the homeless in Los Angeles had become a topic of national conversation. Advocacy groups and local organizations began to demand more action from the city. The message had forced people to confront the uncomfortable truth: Los Angeles had a problem, and it could no longer be ignored. "People are hurting," said a local activist, speaking to reporters outside City Hall. "This message, it's a wake-up call. We can't keep sweeping these issues under the rug." As the city began to face the reality of its social issues, it also became clear that the help message was a catalyst for change. It was a reminder that, even in the shadows, voices were being heard. In the aftermath of the discovery, the community rallied together. The vacant lot, once a symbol of neglect, was transformed into a space of hope and renewal. Volunteers came together to clean the area, plant flowers, and install benches. The lot, which had once been a site of despair, now became a symbol of unity. "We wanted to turn something negative into a positive, to show that we care," said one of the volunteers, her voice filled with determination. "This is just the beginning. We need to keep pushing for change." The lot, once an empty space in the city's heart, had been given new life. And though the message that started it all was no longer visible, its impact would be felt for years to come. It had sparked a conversation, a movement, and, ultimately, a chance for change. From a haunting plea for help to a beacon of hope, this story reminds us of the power of community and the importance of seeing those who often go unseen. It is a tale of transformation, of what can happen when a city listens to its most vulnerable members.